All right, let's back now to SABC News senior political reporter Samkele Maseko, who is still live to us from the ANC's NEC meeting in Boksburg. Samkele, good afternoon to you once again. Who do you have for us at this stage?
We are in the moment going to speak to Mr. TK Nciza, the Provincial Secretary of the ANC in Gauteng. I'm just going to ask my colleague Kwazimanzi just to unbundle his particular camera from the tripod. Excuse our shot, it may be a bit shaky. I was just going to move to Mr. Nciza just to get those comments on Kabelo Kwamanda and his resignation. He are told that he is going to be resigning in the next few hours as the mayor of the city of Johannesburg. The on of Al-Jamaa on this particular issue. We are just going to go to him and he will further clarify these points from the issue of the city of Johannesburg.
And, I think and I think we did we did try our best, and I really promised the citizens of Gauteng that we're sitting, we're planning, we're going to Ekurhuleni, we're looking at really this renewal process of the ANC, that we're going into rebuilding our structures, or reorganizing the African National Congress. That is our focus. But over and above, service our people. We need activists on the ground. We don't need comrade celebrities, a number of things. And I think the ANC, the Secretary General will come out and really pronounce on a number of things that the NEC has resolved on. But as Gauteng, our focus is really to rebuild our structures moving from here. But over and above that, focus on the needs of the people of Gauteng, working together, of course, with our partners.
Mr. Nciza, what's the issue of Johannesburg? What is the update on Mr. Kabelo Kwamanda? When can we expect this resignation? We are told that you did speak to the Al-Jamaa leader. We are expecting his resignation today or tomorrow, saying that he will effectively leave at the end of the month, where the mayor will then be elected.
Firstly, I think let's thank Al-Jamaa as a party, because from the onset we had engaged them that because we're still working on these issues of coalition, and at the time, of course, there was a lot of chaos, we decided alongside the parties that we're working with that Kwamanda will then of course become a caretaker mayor. It was an agreement. I led those negotiations, and that's why we're able to face and engage everybody to say, now that we have stabilized, now that there's a sense that we must put the people of Johannesburg first, and we must, of course, there is a framework of the ANC that talks to the issue of if we are able to convince all other parties that the ANC must lead. It's not an issue of arrogance, because when you are going into a coalition, you must engage other parties without wanting to believe that because you've got more numbers. If you have not won the elections, you have not. So we were actually made to park there. But we've engaged all parties, and I think there's an agreement with the parties that we're working with, including other parties who are joining us. In fact, it's going to have 14 parties, that particular council, who are engaging, finalizing, of course, the final details. And immediately after that, we'll have a proper pronouncement. I don't have a resignation of Kwamanda, or there's no person that say, Kwamanda, you must resign tomorrow. Once we're done, we will speak as the ANC. All other parties will speak, because we respect all the parties that we're working with, including Mr. Kwamanda himself. And we thank him really for the work done.
And who are you working with in Gauteng, given that there's been criticism in terms of not towing the party line, especially nationally, and forming a minority government? Who's the party working with in Gauteng?
But criticism from who? From people who would want to really create something that does not exist. Gauteng always, at all times, follow the processes of the ANC and the protocols. Whatever we would have done, we're engaging the National Executive Committee and through the SG of the ANC, including in the negotiations. We're with our top 7, and we want to really thank the negotiating team, which is led by Comrade Makura, including the SG of the ANC. So we really want to thank them for helping and working with us. We did reach a deadlock with the DA after we had an agreement, and we could not agree moving forward. We engaged other parties like we do at all times, because we don't believe there's any stable coalition, by the way. whether you've got this agreement or that agreement, because parties change from time to time. It's how you deal with the relationship, it's how you work with the people, but also at the center must be the service delivery for our people, and that is must be a primary objective, and that is our focus. So there is no provincial executive committee of the ANC that is a superpower or that is super comrades. We engaged our leaders up until we found each other. In fact, they guided us to deliver the product we have in Gauteng, and we do have their blessings and their full support.
Should Mr. Kabelo Kwamanda resign in the next few hours or next day or two, who's your mayoral candidate for the city of Joburg?
The ANC has processes. Of course, comrades of Johannesburg will engage with an understanding, though, that we are not in a normal situation, because there must always be an appreciation. Are we in charge? What are the issues? Our comrades, we believe that they will rise above their own personal interests and understand that the spirit of self, of wanting things, has no more. It is a spirit of, let's put a comrade that we believe will unite us, but will deliver services for our people. Let's work together. Time for factionalism, paging each other, or even thinking that you are better than another person has come and it's gone. It is time for us to rebuild. It is time for us to refocus. It is time for us to focus and make sure that our people feel serviced and respected. But we believe our comrades in Johannesburg understand that part.
Amen Mashaba says you are taking too long in taking a decision in Joburg.
Do you believe you'd research as the ANC in Gauteng?
Do I believe
that your research is, given the battering that you got at the electoral?
I think we will. I think we will if we are following researches starting from September, before even the formation of the new party. They were putting us far below. It's a shock that we are where we are. We believe that the African National Congress in Gauteng will rise above. It has capable leaders. It has leaders with capacity, leaders who are activists. It doesn't have celebrity comrades. Leaders will go on the ground and do the work, and the work of the organization, the work for the people. We believe we have capacity to do so without fear of contradiction. The leaders of the ANC will come back, the ANC will come back, but the people over and above will be serviced.
On the issue of Johannesburg, Herman Mashaba believes you as the ANC are taking too long on this particular issue, and he may rethink his support for you to get that mayoral chain in the city of Joburg.
Well, I've not spoken to him, so because I'm in the NEC, and it's you who's telling me this, and I don't want to accuse him of saying that. We will continue to engage up until we find a common ground with all parties, because this is not a grand coalition with any party. If or when Action SA is coming through, it's because they said, and we agreed with them, they are putting the interest of people of Johannesburg first, like we are doing. So, whether it's Action SA or any other party that is coming, we must make sure by the time we deliver at the mayor of Johannesburg, there's consensus. There's 14 parties here. It's not 2 parties. So everybody must have felt that they were engaged thoroughly, there's an agreement, we're working together, so that we've got, at least for the next 2 years, a stable Johannesburg that firstly must put the citizens of Johannesburg first. We've got a city here that has really went down, which is Johannesburg. We must bring it back. We must make sure it becomes the economic hub it used to be, just as a city, because we have many problems. We don't have time for egos and wanting to do this and that. We have time to bring everybody together and agree. The investors must have confidence in us. Business must have confidence in us. We need to make employment. Who is the best person to lead that cohort in making sure that we turn Johannesburg around? And we believe now that we all agree, we'll be able to do so without the end of next week.
Mr. TK, the last one from my side. Has Al Jamaa finally agreed for Kabelo Kwamanda to step down, or what is the engagement, particularly with Al Jamaa on this one?
Kabelo Kwamanda is fine. I mean, his leadership. Remember, this is not about Kabelo Kwamanda, but it's about Al Jamaa and the respect we have with them historically and how they've always worked with us. So we are not arrogant. We are not about numbers, but we are saying there were problems at that time. Now it is time we put this person who will take us forward so that we stabilize Johannesburg. And we're there.
Loiso Masugo Tadamora.
ANC. African National Congress.
I'm told you are lobbying there in Joburg.
Never. They'll always come up with these. They'll always come up with these funny things, my comrades. But unfortunately, I happen to be an elected secretary that must always respect the African National Congress and rise above factionalism, rise above interest. I can have an interest, but the ANC's interest must come first.
How did you pass those budgets there in Joburg? Did EFF come in to support? What did you offer them?
Why must EFF is in Johannesburg? EFF is part of.
No, in Gauteng legislature.
Yeah, but you asked me about Johannesburg.
No, anyway. I said, how did you pass the budgets in the legislature?
First of all, I've explained to you, Maseko, that we engage parties. We are not delusional. We don't wake up and believe that this party is with us, that one is not with us. We engaged all parties and showed them the budget of people of Gauteng. If they are true Democrats and people who are elected to serve the interest of the people, the first thing they'll do, they'll have an interest in a budget that must service the people of Gauteng, which I can tell you only 2 parties did not agree. All other parties in that legislature supported, not EFF alone, it's 7 other parties. So we engage them, we engage MK, we will do so. Because we don't stop, including engaging the Democratic Alliance. We'll not stop engaging them. We'll engage everybody because that's the nature of our politics. That's where we are today. And we're not even worried about where we go. People said the budget don't go through, it has went through. And it went through with a serious margin. You know, there were votes there. I mean, you know, it was really. We applaud all the political parties for putting the interest of people of Gauteng, for continuously showing that in the leadership of the ANC, we still believe that we'll be able to prosper, led by the Premier Panyasa.
But you've got resistance by some of your own NEC members here who said that you wouldn't pass that particular budget in Joburg, in the legislature.
Well, they didn't tell me. If there's corridor talks is one thing, I can't really entertain that. One thing I know is that the budget in Gauteng has been passed. It was went through. The ANC's one was speaking in one voice. We're going to make sure that this renewal process we're talking about it comes alive in our lifetime.
What are you saying? Don't kill Chris Hani again?
Yeah, we are saying that.
To who?
No. It has nothing to do. It's a T-shirt that was done by National for that match we did of Walus. It was not even our T-shirt. But over and above, we've clarified the matter with the SG. We're all happy. We're fine. There's no issue. A T-shirt of the ANC is a T-shirt of the ANC.
Thank you very much, Mr. TK. He's the Provincial Secretary of the ANC. They're confirming that indeed there will be winds of change in the city of Joburg and they will be taking the mayoral chain in the coming days.